Welcome, everyone, to the Potential Awaits podcast. My name is Sue Wedsworth, your host, coach, and professor that founded WORTHResults to help people maximize their potential and achieve what they want out of life. Today, we're going to talk about love and work. So put away your distractions and focus on today's lesson because this class is now in session. Love. Why am I talking about love with work? Very simple. Many people think work is just what is needed to make money, a job. It pays the bills. Others see it as a purpose, a career or an occupation, or even a profession. Why do we choose what we do for a living? Some choose the money. I have many students asking me what they should be specializing in at school so they can get a job and make money. They don't look at it from the love of what they're going to be doing. They're focusing on the money. For example, many ask me to help them choose between accounting and finance. Now, accounting and finance are very different. When we talk to them about their choices, I ask them, which do they love doing more? Some quickly say, but I want to make sure I can get a job. I ask them again. They all then think about it for a while and then say one or the other, or sometimes something completely different. Then I say, choose what you love. The money will come. Now, many choose something that they're good at, and thinking as long as they're good at it, then they will be successful. Do they ever think about whether they will love it? I find a lot of people saying if they didn't like it, they wouldn't be doing it. But I didn't say like, I said love. Love is very different than like. Would you marry someone you merely liked? No. We have to like someone first and then look for it to turn into love. And if it doesn't, we generally move on. And many people use that same thinking process with work. I have to like it first, and if that works out, then great. But very rarely does that turn into love. But they still stay. Why is that? Why do some think of work and love very differently? I want to talk today about two different young adults I met, both with very different perspectives on work. Both went to universities in Ottawa and have very similar personalities. Both were very shy or awkward in their teens. These two young women's stories are very similar to many people's thoughts on work and love. First, the I don't have to love it to do it camp. The first young woman I want to talk about, let's say her name is Anna. I met with her in her home actually just a few weeks ago, and we started talking about the fact that she was deciding to go back to school to get her master's. Anna already has a degree in political science. Through this conversation, she shared with me and firmly believes that she expects to never find passion through her work. I needed to understand why she thought that. She has a passion for fiction writing, and when I said to her, you can definitely work in a field that you love, she said it would ruin it for her if she did that. She continued by saying she would have to turn something she enjoyed into something else. In order to be successful, she would need to be focused on a goal, and that goal is to get published. When I talked to her more about writing for her career, she said, well, many authors don't write for enjoyment, which was clearly wrong in my mind. I said, there are thousands of authors and playwrights who started out writing as a hobby or for the love of it and are now accomplished published writers. She was very firm in her denial about that. She believed passion and love is found outside of work. Work is hard, she said. It's an interesting perspective, and I've seen that a common perspective in the Canadian labor force. Many people go into school thinking it will give them a career or make money, or worse, it's what their parents wanted them to do, and either leave school, change careers, or become miserable. Anna doesn't even have a part-time job, doesn't promote herself on social media. Again, she says that's work, and will not look to publish her books that she writes. She thinks that if she does that for a profession, she can't write for enjoyment. Just write a book with only 5 chapters and then stop and start something else. Again, I can name J.K. Rowling, P.L. Travers, Stephen King, Ian Fleming, to name a few authors that I'm sure did that. Why does she believe that? Look at how much time she and other people like her have spent their days doing something they don't love doing. Now, let's hold that thought for a moment. Now, the other story. Alex is her name. She has a degree in English, and as Anna, Alex was interested in books and writing. Her mother thought she'd probably be a librarian or a teacher. But in her later years of her undergraduate degree, she started to connect herself with a group of friends in the film and screenwriting arts faculty. There she started to look at writing scripts. She actually wrote a movie script, and her friends produced it. She was loving this new path she had found. From there, after she graduated, she connected with some people in the film industry that she knew and started to work as a production assistant for free. So, that was her first start, working for free in an industry she was coming to love. Getting into that industry, by the way, is not easy. And to make ends meet, well, she did dog walking, something else she also loved. Now, many of you may not know what a production assistant does, but it is long hours and not a lot of great pay. But Alex loved it. Her patience and hard work paid off. From there, she ended up getting hired as a production assistant on the TV series A Handmaid's Tale. Since that time, she's worked on a few more TV series and movies because as a production assistant, it's all contract work. It isn't even permanent, and she went from movie to TV series and so on. Last year during COVID, she landed a show on Netflix and is now a full-time production coordinator. And a few months ago, she just bought her first house. Two similar women with two very different mindsets about work and love. One feels work is, well, work. Hard and will not be the source of any love or passion for her. And she's not really working, and she's deciding to stay in school. The other has found her passion and love in her work and has worked to get more love and enjoyment from her chosen career. She didn't chase the money, she chased the chance to do what she loves. So, those are both people who started their careers. But what about those that went into a career because of the money? What about them? Can they find love in their work? Well, only really they can answer that question. For me, I was offered a job at a bank, and I remember saying to people, they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. And many times I find myself wishing I did refuse it. Many times I find myself wishing I had left because I didn't love the work. I didn't even really like it. I made the best of it because likely I was too afraid to find what else I could do out there. I finally left after 25 years in that industry, and it was the best decision I ever made for my career. Another person I know states he continues to do businesses that he's good at, thinking he'll be a success, but really not seeing much from any business yet. Getting back to my marriage analogy, if you wouldn't marry someone you didn't love, why stay married if you don't love them anymore? Many people divorce their spouses because they don't love them anymore, even though they may like them. And if they don't like them, why would they stay? Well, all sorts of reasons. For the kids, for the benefits of being married. In other words, what they could possibly lose. I know a friend that said the same thing to me. She would leave if it wasn't for what she would lose if she left. So, if people won't do that, why would I expect them to leave jobs they don't like or love? Or why would they agree to do the job at all if they don't love it? If someone proposed to you like a job offer, would you say yes if you didn't love them? No. But we say yes if the conditions are right, and then wonder why we're not happy. To answer my question before, can people find love in their work? Absolutely. How? 2 ways. First, find the love in the work. If you're selling, for example, and you hate selling, but you like helping people, well, there's your answer. Selling is helping people. That's exactly what selling is. But it's actually also a mindset. You need to have the right mindset, the right perspective to love something. Just like you have a certain mindset or perspective when you love someone. Others may not feel the same way that you do about that special someone, but you do. And that's all that's important. So find the love in your work. If you can't, leave. The second option is to leave. It isn't to find love and passion in other things other than work. I tried that for years. I did side businesses and joined sports leagues and so on and so forth to try and inject the love and happiness into my life. And it did for a while. So yes, you can, but it may only be short-lived. Why? Because we spend so much time in our days and weeks in our jobs that it will take over our feelings. If you don't like it, or better yet, love it, it will take over and you will not be happy. So, no, the second option is stop doing what you're doing and find out what will make you joyous and in love with what you're doing. Now, if that can be done in the same organization, great. Some organizations are large enough that you can move into another area or division to find that love and joy in the job. If not, leave. Find out what you really love doing, not for the money, but for the love of doing it. The way the universe really works really wasn't taught to us. We have different beliefs and perspectives based on our upbringing and our backgrounds. But the way it works, if we search after what we love and continue to live in that space, in a joyful and loving space, that will be attracted to you. And then the money will come. There was a lady who wanted to work with puppies. She left the corporate world and was looking to see how she could just work with puppies. What happened? She started a business working with puppies. And it became $1 million business. For her, the money came after she found her love. And that was the same with Alex. Now, is this foolproof? Well, if you believe it is, then yes, it is. If you don't, then it isn't. There's one thing that successful people all over the world agree on. They can disagree on many other things, but this one thing is held as fact. You become what you think about. If you think you can't do something, you can't. If you believe you'll find money and income through loving your work and your life, then you will. It is just that simple. Love what you do, love who you are, and the money will come, and you will have a happy and joyous life. Now, we talked about fears in our second lesson, and fear and the lack of self-confidence is another reason why people don't leave their jobs. They're afraid. They're afraid they won't make money or they won't find something better. Don't be afraid. Be bold. Have faith and believe in yourself. And know that if you find a purpose and a goal for searching for what you love, the money and success will come. I've seen it firsthand and have just shared some real life examples on just how it happened. I hope they've inspired you to act. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening. I know there are a lot of choices out there, and I'm so happy you spent your time with me. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a lesson. If you want to talk about your own story or have a specific question to be answered next time, head over to WORTHResults.com and connect with me. I would love to hear from you. See you next time.